My name is Nick. This is my wife, Natalie. We've been at Antioch now
It's 11
probably
years.
11, yeah, going on 12 years. Foster care got first put in our hearts. I believe it was like an adoption Sunday up here at church, and somebody was speaking and really just gave some basic statistics on how many kids were in the foster care system within the United States, and then how many churches there are in the United States, and simply made the statement that if one family member from every church in the United States would take in a foster child, it would completely wipe out the system. I think when I first heard that, it was like, wow, that is pretty impactful, meaning I think we can make an impact.
Yeah, it was 2016. Our biological kids were 1 and 3.
Yeah.
And I was working full-time. He was working full-time. And so we thought about it and took the next steps to get licensed.
So it was exciting to get to that point of like, all right, we are licensed, and now we're just continuing to say yes, and err on the side of action of what happens next. For anyone wanting to start the process, I think it's important that first you understand what you're about to enter into, because it's a broken system. It's kids in broken families that you're entering into. So I think first starting and recognizing, hey, we're making a choice to go into this place of brokenness within the system, within these families. And it is hard. So I think a main practical next step is getting raw with the Lord and saying, is this something you want us to err on the side of action and go into? And then physically taking those next steps within the local system here in Fort Worth.
I went into it thinking I can do a good job for these kids temporarily.
Yeah, there definitely was an element of challenge when we brought in a sibling set of girls. They were 3 and 7 at the time, and recognizing, this is their reality and where they're coming from, in the flesh going, yeah, I feel like we are a good place for you at this moment in time in your life, but that vision of like, I don't know that I'm equipped to raise these girls into adulthood.
So whenever I was preparing my thoughts for today, on what I wanted to get what points I wanted to get across, I asked Clara kind of her perspective on what was it like when you first came to our house, and how did you feel? And she said she remembers when they got out of the car and walked up the sidewalk to our El Campo house, and she had her trash bag full of belongings and holding her sister's hand, and she said that she just felt really scared. She said it was weird to walk into a home and to look at 2 grown-ups and be like, who are you? She said Nick looked especially scary. And it's really important to be a place of open arms. We just really need good, loving foster homes.
I think one of the things that we didn't expect necessarily for God to do with our family as a whole, because we have 2 biological boys, was looking back on over the last 8 years of fostering and adopting these girls. It was extremely challenging, and it was difficult for our boys to welcome and invite in 2 strange girls into their lives. But now, looking at who they are and the character that they have built, the understanding of what it means to look with love, you quickly become outward focus instead of inward focus. I think is something that they wouldn't have gained, and we wouldn't have gained if we hadn't done this process. So knowing the trajectory that not only the girls but our boys are as they move into adulthood, of just an understanding of the Father's heart and what it means to be uncomfortable and live in that uncomfortableness and figure it out.
All that to say, I am really grateful for whoever it was that spoke that Sunday 8 years ago. I'm really grateful that Nick was there and heard, and that he came home and was moved enough to talk to me about it. I'm really grateful that we were naive enough to jump in full force.
Yeah.
And I'm equally grateful for the community that we met along the way. And for the blessing of a large family that we have now.